do, the reason why we're so creative about it and have at least lasted, I won't say we're successful, but have lasted at least this long, we wouldn't have gotten this far if we would have had a comfortable job working for somebody. I would not have wanted to learn how to do HTML coding and graphic design and flash design the way I do it now if I had someone paying me because, I would be comfortable. But because it's a struggle financially or opportunity-wise to better my craft, I have to get even better. I've learned much more out of school, out of college, than I have in school. And that's because I understand that in order for me to be successful, I have to apply myself and then I be on the breast of what's up and coming. Despite the financial gain or the financial opportunities, and that's the unfortunate drive of why we do what we do, is because we're looking at a financial reward from it instead of what can I learn from it as a lesson, as a skill, and how can I use that skill to promote something that I like to do? How can I go and work for corporate America, learn how they do it, and then flip it and bring it back to the hood and do something and do it just as good, if not better, than they do it?
Yeah, because see, what it is you're right, we're so comfortable that we just want someone else to do the work and let us keep doing what it is we do. We'll let the activists and all the social people stay behind all this stuff, and then if anything break off and there's something to gain, then we'll get in line. But until the lines start forming, I'm going to keep doing my thing and keep banking my money and keep living large. And I'm going to be down for the struggle, though, but I got to make sure that we're going to win and everything's lined up. When, in fact, we don't have any chance of winning if the people are going to sit around and support the other side while we're trying to win. We can't win with them on the other side. Right. And that's the whole thing I'm trying to preach and teach the people all the time, that as long as we take the best of who we are and give to them, and then there's people like you and I that have to give resources we don't have, we have to spend time that we think we don't have because no one else is going to do it. No one else is going to go out on a limb and walk away from that big-time thought of some money to go do something that is kind of thankless in a way. It definitely, you're never going to get rich doing the kind of stuff that we do, and I don't even think getting rich is on the table for us. But part of being rich is not financially rich. It's culturally rich. It's right. Being black, being who you are, and giving back. And see, my love for black people means that when it comes down to that, I'm not really into economics. I'm trying to leave an institution behind. I want someone to be talking about 100 years from now that Delani Amon and some more folks got together and were doing Harambee Radio and instead with the white man looking down their throat, they still went on and talked junk and said what they had to say. Because ultimately, we're going to need institutions like your magazine and Harambee Radio to be around when there may not be anything else. So it can't be around if we don't make the sacrifices today. Exactly.
And I'd like to add to that another. I will say that one direction that I'm actually working on doing is the accumulation of wealth, but in the realms of what. Let me just give this example. It's very easy to create a business and without money up front. And the way I say that is, if you have a love for writing or a love for drawing, or if you like to carve wood or whatever, design clothing, what have you, with the use of the internet, and I'm an example of that. Our online store, and this is not to plug anything, this is just to give an example, our online store has allowed us to reach people universally. We've been able to reach people in the Netherlands, in Africa, in Asia. I mean, I got names of countries that I've never even heard of that people are buying our information and supporting what we're trying to put out. I think the economics is a very vital key, and the reason why I say that is because, number one, in the hood, cats ain't trying to hear you talk about pyramids unless you could put some dollars in their pocket. It's like I could talk about the RBG, and I could talk about Patrice Lumumba and all of that, but they're like, listen, I need something in my pockets, you know what I mean? If you're not doing that, then later for that. So to me, it's important that I add this dimension to this. I think this is one of the things that our elders that have written the books and as I mentioned before, done all the lectures, a lot of them were in positions where they were financially strapped. I'm actually trying to eradicate the notion that to struggle is to be poor. Our only struggle, I think, is just about the struggle of fighting the demon within yourself of being lazy. And I'm not saying that we're lazy, but that we're afraid.
Scared, yeah.
Free. We're afraid to blow up. We're afraid to see that, damn, if I just apply myself and if I use this, for hell, the internet was created by a brother. I mean, why don't we use this invention and reach our people globally and exchange some commerce, exchange some ideas, build some wealth, and get in a position where we can have a financial say in what goes on, at least in our community.
Okay, Brother Ishangi, I want you to hold that. We're going to take a break and come back and let you talk some more on the other side. We want you to keep it right there. Welcome back. This is Delani Amon with Harambee Radio. And with me right now is a young brother, and I think he's young because he seems like he's on that ladder going up. And I'm speaking about Brother Ishangi, editor of the Ghetto Tymz magazine, who's bringing us some very enlightening information about some of the things we need to be doing. And the more I hear you talk, the more I know that you're on the right path, because it's all about us gaining control of our reality and not being caught up in someone else's matrix. And that's where we are as a people. We seem to have lost our way and think that, that the world is supposed to take care of us and everybody is supposed to do for us, and we never are supposed to make a move on our own. And it's nice to know that you're up in New York seeing that we are making progress on some roads, but on some roads we have work to do. And we need to dialogue about that, because as I travel around, I see black people burdened by the same things everywhere we go. We just, as you said earlier, we haven't seen it enough, so that when they see a brother show up in the flesh, sometimes they can't even believe that I'm there. They say, well, I've read about your work, but you mean, what are you doing in L.A.? And I said, man, we have to show you by example that we have the ability to get around, that this is not just internet, this is not just by phone, that there's actually folks out here that can get around and come visit one another. We have that ability. So until we show everyone, everything is going to be subject to interpretation, and sometimes that is that we don't have the ability to do these things.
True.